Let me tell you, the Democrats have shown us that they do not believe in human rights.
Okay.
I'm not exaggerating.
I agree with you.
We're seeing it now in Los Angeles with Mayor Garcetti straight up saying, we will take away your water if you try to uphold your First Amendment right to peaceably assemble.
This is insane.
DWP authorized to cut utilities at party homes, mayor announces. Sure, the First Amendment says peaceably assemble. It doesn't say for what reason. You have a right to have a gathering, end of story, in the Constitution. They're not even talking about locking up. Did you know that people who go to jail get water?
That's a good point.
You go to jail, you get water. You go to jail, there's electric lights. Yeah. And depending on where you go, I mean, you have TVs, you can watch TV. You'll have electricity in prison. You'll actually have access to medical care. But if you defy Mayor Garcetti, he will take water away from you. Now, I understand electricity too. Think about this. What happens if somebody's having a party and they have insulin in their refrigerator and he cuts their power off?
That's a good point.
They're going to die.
They could.
People need to understand this, especially about power outages and cutting off utilities, is that there are some people who literally need it in the immediate to survive. Insulin needs to be refrigerated. Oxygen. Yep. You cut off the power to somebody because they're partying and they got grandpa upstairs on an oxygen tank.
Yep.
He dead.
Bye.
This is an insane threat to violate human rights.
Someone just said, welcome to Chinafornia. Or Fornia.
Chinafornia.
Chinafornia.
Yeah.
Thanks, chat.
Let me show you this tweet. I said, welcome to the world you created. It is everything you asked for and everything we warned would happen. Twitter is now locking the accounts of people fact-checking Trump. And of course, you can see Aaron Rupar. He's been blocked. Twitter shut him down because he was trying to fact check the president. You've got this guy, Bobby Lewis, and you've got this woman, Liz Power. These people are all complaining that Twitter has forced them to delete their own tweets because they were saying things that Twitter didn't like.
Huh.
Yeah.
But on the other side.
On the left. Oh, this happens to the left all the time.
Okay.
If there is any particular group of people that lacks the ability to learn, it is leftists who continually ask for censorship because invariably they're the ones who get censored. I mean, it's the same thing with Second Amendment. How insane would you have to be right now to be like, we demand that the government seize, national gun control, seize all the weapons. And Donald Trump is a fascist.
Yeah.
What?
Huh.
Are you out of your mind? I am starting to see more lefties say that though. And I'm like, thank you. There was a funny post where
it's refreshing, isn't it?
Well, somebody posted a meme on Facebook I saw and it said like, we need national gun control. The rest of the world looks at us like idiots. It's time to confiscate, high-powered weapons and weapons of war. And the first comment was from a guy who was like, I'm really far left, but I've been thinking about this. And I mean, Trump's a fascist. I don't think we should have him take our guns away.
Good.
And I'm
Thinking it through.
Hey, they're starting to realize it. But the reason I bring this up is what they're doing in LA is my mind was blown when I heard this story. It is above and beyond violating human rights to take away their clean water.
Yeah, it is. I agree completely.
Because there are even laws. I'm curious I don't know if California has this law, but I know I think Arizona does. If you go to a store and you say, can I have water? They have to give it to you, right? I mean, so there's a lot of places like that for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, and in the South, Arizona, because it gets so hot there that people could die from dehydration very easily. So if someone walks in and says, can I please have some water? It's illegal to say no.
Now, many people will say the mayor is just threatening it. Oh, he's just is that an argument? He's just threatening to take away people's civil rights.
Oh, sure.
I'm sorry, human rights.
This is what I had a friend who was messaging me the other night. She's like, cars are driving around. They're checking people's houses. I was like, are you serious?
They're checking their,
in
they're checking
LA?
their houses?
Yep, in LA. Yeah, she's over in California.
Wow.
Yeah.
What, like the cops are going to people's homes?
I got to double check. But yeah, she said cars are driving and making sure that people
Why would anyone in their right mind want to live in California at this point? New York and California have become it's despotism.
It's like they're fighting to be the best authoritarian state
race
now.
to the bottom.
Who can be more authoritarian?
Mm-hmm.
This is a crazy story, man. He
it
says
is.
You're breaking the law. You know what scares me more than this?
It's not a law.
It's
a mandate.
No. What scares me is this guy right here behind him. Who's this guy?
I have no idea.
He's wearing a badge.
Yeah, a badge, but it doesn't look like he is an officer. It's like he's a private security guy with a badge on his chest.
No, he's got the black bar, which represents a fallen officer.
Oh, okay.
He looks like he's a cop.
Okay.
Maybe he's not. I don't know. But it's not even about that. The mayor said that he had authorized the Department of Water and Power to cut utilities within 48 hours after parties were confirmed by the LAPD.
Whoa.
You are breaking the law.
That's so crazy.
What law? First Amendment says I can peaceably assemble.
Yep.
Period.
Period.
Supreme Court ruled that in Nevada, churches couldn't be over a certain capacity. So they did that the evangelicals held a church ceremony event at a casino.
Mm-hmm.
Or that video of
today in a Walmart.
In a Walmart.
They were singing in a Walmart. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
Just hearing it, honestly, I'm not religious, but it lifted me up hearing the joy and the reverence of what they were doing. I mean, they were basically saying to the man, F you. We're going to join up together. Oh, yeah, check this out.
It's from Post Millennial.
So it says, barred from attending church, Christians held worship service at a Walmart. And they were singing, and man, was it good to hear.
How long will people sit back and accept something like this? So I'll tell you what, man. Stay out of California. I'm not even kidding.
No joke.
And I know there's probably a lot of you watching who live there. I think listen, man, first they came for. We understand where this goes. If the mayor of your town is threatening to strip you of human rights and no one opposes him, how long? I mean, how long until they just walk up and they just disappear you?
Good point.
If they have this much disdain for human rights, they think they're entitled to do this. We've crossed the Rubicon in this, man.
Yep.
There's no turning back. The mayor has straight up said this. He should be removed immediately. Now, impeached, whatever. They complain about Donald Trump tweeting. I kid you not, CNN, they're like, the president is showing his fascistic tendencies again by saying maybe we should postpone an election due to mail-in voter problems. It's like, Trump tweeted about postpone the election. You say, no. End of story.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Congress says that's up to us, and maybe he can have some national security, directive. But no, I'm sorry. The Trump tweeting, the president tweeting things doesn't concern me at all.
The Donald.
When the mayor of LA holds a press conference and says, within 48 hours, if you having a legal assembly, you're breaking the law and we will take away your water. I understand taking away your power too. But
Can you imagine having from say last year, 2019, you're like, oh, I'm going to plan my wedding in this beautiful place in California. And, somewhere, maybe in my friend's house in
Napa
LA.
Valley.
Napa Valley,
Get
wherever.
some wine.
I'm going to have all my friends and family in August in LA. Yeah, nope. I'm going to shut your power off.
You're gonna shut off your power.
Yep. You're breaking the law.
Look, man, in New Jersey, they've been arresting people who are having parties. Constitutionally protected.
Yeah.
You're allowed to assemble for any reason. Well, literally not any reason, but peaceable assembly. I mean, I'm sure if you're assembling to commit some kind of crime,
that would not be peaceable,
right? They'd probably come in and be like, "You're committing a crime." So he's telling people to break in their law. Why? Because they're hanging out together, above and beyond, man. So I'm inspired by this story from Post Millennial, that people are resilient. So they were singing in a Walmart.
It was awesome.
That's
so
crazy,
great.
man.
It was awesome to see.
You know what's really crazy is Michael Tracy, journalist, tweeted this, that he's in some small town or something, and the people there told him they didn't wear masks until Walmart mandated masks.
Wow.
Because
Isn't that interesting?
Walmart's more
The only
influential
place.
than
Yeah.
the government. So
Wow.
once they mandated, people are like, okay, fine, I guess.
The great thing is they were social distancing. You can see that they were spread out in the videos. I mean, you can't really see it very well, but I mean, you could see that they're spreading out.
That's great.
But they went around the store and they were just singing. It was awesome. Good
Wait,
and
maybe
power
I-
to them.
Thank you. I said, big dummy me. I ain't never did that before. So.
Wow, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So there's only so much you can actually do to try and shut down people's spirit, their faith.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm curious, at what point will someone intervene? Because California,
Good
so
point.
this is just Los Angeles. And this is what scares me about any place that is dominated by one party. Los Angeles has had a Democratic supermajority for a very, very long time, and they've not been able to solve any of their problems. They've got a serious NIMBY mentality for a lot of the people in downtown LA. One of the worst homeless problems in the country. And all of these Democrats together could not solve it. Whenever they try and talk about, building housing or affordable housing, it just falls apart. You look at Chicago, you look at New York, the exact same thing. You know what the craziest thing is with New York? Now I want to make sure I stress the psychosis of the violation of human rights. Bill de Blasio basically mocked rich people.
Really?
Yeah, so Cuomo was like, please come back.
Yeah.
Please. And then, he's like, I'll buy you a drink. So it's, I don't know if this is true. Actually, could you look this up?
Yeah.
That 1%, the top 1% pays 50% of the taxes in New York City.
I have heard that.
Yeah,
I have heard
so
that.
I've heard it. I don't know if it's true, but Bill de Blasio was like, yeah, they're fair weather friends. I should raise their taxes more.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, now you're going to lose more money.
Yeah.
So we talked about this, how Trump brought all these rich people in.
Yeah, in the early 80s.
Started spending mad tax money.
I mean, Trump basically redefined what New York was. Like all that money that he brought in the early 80s changed. The crime rate was dropping over a decade after that. It's pretty incredible once you really look into the history of what New York was in the 70s versus the 80s.
Totally.
Big difference.
You find
it?
Yeah, I did. And I'm going to read this short little blurb from the New York Post from a few years ago. It says, New York City's 1% are paying a much larger share of the city's income tax than the wealthiest 1% nationally are coughing up to Washington.
Interesting. But do you know what the numbers are?
The Big Apple's top 35,400 filers, those with incomes of 598,000 or more, accounted for 45.7% of the $7.2 billion in income taxes that New York City collected.
Wow.
45%.
Huge
Well, they're all gone.
percentage.
Yeah.
They're all leaving.
Bye.
Because
Yep.
this is the thing, man. So the reason I brought up that mall scenario before,
Okay.
New York City is basically experiencing
One big
that.
mall.
So
You're right. Wow. Yeah.
So
Nailed it.
think about it. When someone goes to like Soho, what does Soho stand for? Do you know?
South of Houston.
South of Houston. There you go.
Yeah.
So this is an area that's got a bunch of boutique shops. The Van store was over there, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Was it? I think it was south of Houston.
I don't remember the
Maybe it was north of it. Anyway, here's the point.
NoHo.
NoHo?
Yeah.
Yeah, north of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
You have all these businesses. And so we would walk down and look in the windows and be like, oh, it's cool. Let's go in here. Oh, it's the Van store. I'll buy some skate gear. You walk out. You walk down the street. Oh, there's Best Buy. So you're basically window shopping like it's a big shopping district.
It's a good point. Yeah.
Now that
One
all these
big mall.
now that all these businesses were just ripped to shreds and just burnt to the ground figuratively by the riots and shut down by COVID, what are you going to walk around for? So now here's what's happening. I believe it is fair to say that Bill de Blasio is burning New York City to the ground.
Yep.
And it seems intentional. And I'll tell you why.
It really does.
He's mocking the rich people as they flee, while Cuomo's begging them to come back, and even Cuomo's not doing the best job in the world. De Blasio is setting up checkpoints and a 14-day quarantine and $10,000 fines. You know what that does?
What?
It makes sure no tourist will come to the city until that's over.
That's a good point.
And
Yep.
tourism accounted for billions in revenue.
Yep.
Like daily.
Billions. Yep.
So now you've got no tourists. So there's no sales revenue. There's no money being brought into the city. This is the thing about tourism. This is why everybody loves it. You get some dude from, I don't know, Columbus, Ohio.
Sure.
He decides to visit New York. He brings with him a bunch of money, and he goes and he buys little statues of the Statue of Liberty, little models of it, and some
Yep.
American flags.
Buys an MTA pass. Buys food.
Goes Times
to
Square.
the theater.
Hotel.
Hotel,
Gets
all
hotel.
that.
Yeah,
Taxis.
everything.
That money was generated in Columbus, brought to New York, and dispersed in New York, bolstering the New York economy. That's why tourism, people know how tourism works.
Mm-hmm.
Bill de Blasio said, how can we stop this
Why?
money from coming in? Checkpoints and a 2-week quarantine.
Why is he doing
Now
that?
we know for a fact you're here, and if you come out of your apartment, house, or hotel within 2 weeks, $10,000 fine. Maybe he's hoping he's going to start, capturing what few tourists are left and finding them $10,000.
Oh my goodness.
Or in all reality, people aren't walking around and shopping anymore.
Nope.
They're not going to be coming into the city. There's going to be zero tourism, and now he's mocking the rich people as they flee.
When you say he's mocking him, like, give me an example, because I haven't heard this yet. What is he
called
saying?
them fair weather friends.
Oh my goodness.
He called them fair weather friends, and he said he should raise their taxes.
Jeez.
Cuomo said the opposite. He says, "Come on, I'll buy you a drink. Come back."
There's no way they're going to come back because they're finding a new spot, realizing they're making so much more money because they don't have to pay as much taxes in these other places. And those other places are probably like, we love your taxes that you're giving us. You're bolstering our community now.
Yes, absolutely. But it's also just like the disrespect and abuse
Yeah.
from the city.
Yeah, of
How
course.
insane are that's why I'm saying Is he trying to make sure no one ever comes back?
Yeah. Well,
It's not-
and look at what happened with Flint, Michigan, with their water. How everyone everyone had to pay more and more for the water, and then they couldn't even afford water anymore.
That's what I'm saying with this
Yep.
mall analogy.
Yeah.
So
Drive it home.
as more and more people leave New York City, then there's less of a reason for anyone to be there. It is a massive mall, essentially. The incentive to be in New York is because you're around other people doing jobs, because you can find a job, and because there's constant opportunity and a lot of people and your friends. Your friends are gone. You can't make money. You're locked in your apartment. There's no more tourism. There's nothing to sell. The stores are all destroyed by the riots. And then Bill de Blasio's laughing at the people who are fleeing and have the means to do so, leaving behind poor people who have no money to spend, can't get out of the city, while he laughs the whole way. Meanwhile, Bill de Blasio, it's reported, makes $9,000 a month in rental income. As he mocks these people fleeing, he's fine. He's totally fine.
Yep, he's
so I'll tell
chilling.
you what, the rich people in New York are going, wow, this Bill de Blasio fellas sure is nuts. I'm leaving. And they hop on their little private planes or whatever. I mean, someone making $600K doesn't have a private plane probably. Maybe they rent a helicopter to fly him out of the city. Then they go spend some time upstate. They go spend some time in Connecticut, in Maine, in Boston, or they go West Coast, they go to Montana, they go down to Virginia, whatever. The point is they're gone.
They're leaving New York.
The poor people can't do that. The people in Brooklyn, in central Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, and these areas who live in these tiny apartments, they can't just up and leave. So the whole city is being destroyed by the failures of this mayor, this Democratic mayor and the Democratic governor, and the poor people are suffering the most.
And crime is skyrocketing because he's defunding the police, taking the crime
Yep.
units out of these places that needed them, that are actually begging for them to come back. Like, please,
He doesn't care.
bring the police back. People are being shot and killed nonstop. It's been happening. It's
They're
like crazy.
facing a $30 billion deficit over 2 years. They're demanding federal intervention. Otherwise, they're going to lay off 22,000 people. And I don't think Trump's going to do it. He's going to be like, I think he already told him no the one time. Now we're going to see the government lay off 22,000 people. The police reassign 600 cops. Soon they're going to start firing people. And it's going to go way back to the way things used to be. Violent crime, rampant crime, but maybe even worse. I don't understand how New York could function if it collapsed to a certain degree. Listen, if you have a water system as big as New York City, I can't imagine how much it costs to maintain that whole water system. Ridiculous sums of money.
Yeah, you're right.
Up buildings, all that stuff. Now, what happens if everybody leaves and there's no one to pay the bills for it anymore? The people left see all of their water bills go way up.
They have to.
Now, all of a sudden, no one can afford to pay the water bill, like Flint, like Detroit, and the city becomes basically uninhabitable. What's going to happen to New York? Are everyone in the city is going to leave until there's only like 1 million people left in a metro that used to have 12 or 13?
I got to watch Escape from New York again because, I mean, that seems to be
Feeling
the
it.
future.
Yeah.
Jeez. I mean, I don't wish this upon New York. I grew up in New York. As I became an adult, I moved there when I was 19 and lived there till I was, I don't know, 30 something. I'm 34 when I left. Yeah.
Bill de Blasio has burnt that city to the ground.
Yes, he has.
I mean, there's been bad mayors. You know, Bloomberg was really dumb. That guy was like taxing soda. He's
Yeah.
like, people are too stupid. So Mike Bloomberg actually argued for a poor tax.
Wow.
He said tax the poor because they're not smart enough to know what's good for them.
He said those words.
I'm paraphrasing.
Oh, my
but yes.
goodness.
Yeah, he said the issue is poor people will buy a bunch of soda and then get unhealthy and fat.
Then we have to pay for it.
And then we have to pay for it.
Ah.
So how about we tax them so they can't buy it, and then they'll have health care and they'll be better
That's
off.
kind of
But then
evil.
they're not even thinking about the fact that they've created these food deserts where they have no choice but to go to McDonald's because there's no other places. Everything else is a little bodega that has barely anything.
The bodegas have just like, noodles and
Yeah,
stuff.
but they're not cooking stuff they're going to a bodega to get a sandwich.
Yep.
And that's what they're living on. Get a soda and a sandwich, and it's like that's not healthy either.
That was my life when I was living in Williamsburg.
Me too, for me.
I went to for Vice.
Yep.
Wake up in the morning, get ready to go to work. I go to bodega and they give me a man. As much as I love a nice bodega sandwich, I gotta admit they're like low quality. It's low quality food, man. Some American cheese on a Kaiser bun with some meat. Now they used Boar's Head. Boar's Head's legit, but those buns were not all that good.
Processed meat in general is not good for you.
I'll tell you what.
Boar's Head included.
I mean, I'm saying it's not like some trash. It's like it's low quality stuff. That's the point.
Yeah.
Boar's Head is not that bad, but the point is, the face of this country, the shape of this country is going to be so dramatically different. Now you got Bill. I think was it Bill de Blasio complaining about census?
Yes. Oh yeah, only 58% has been filled out.
That means they're going to lose 2 electoral votes.
I saw
Yeah.
that.
2 electoral votes.
That's
Good.
The Democrats have got to be scared. So obviously, from what we learned about what Trump said, that he's got all these enemies, that he's gonna go away for a little bit. You're not gonna see him for a little while. I think it's because these people know Trump's gonna win. They're looking at the American public, and the American public is just going like this, like, we are gonna vote for Trump because we see you. Everyone is aware. The Great Awakening is what they keep sharing, and it's like, I see it too. I'm a part of it myself.
And now that we learned that the journalist bubble is worse now than it was in 2016. So for those that didn't see this the other day, it was University at Illinois Urbana-Champaign, I think that's what it's called. And they said that the Beltway bubble, the DC Politico reporters, are more isolated than they were last time, and they were expecting to see the inverse. So everybody wondered, why did they get everything wrong in the last election? And now it's because they were just following each other, and they were completely out of touch with America.
Yep.
So the New York Times did this like famous thing where they sent a guy around the country to talk to middle America and be like, what did we not understand? And now apparently it's worse than it was before. It's worse. So all these political stories you're seeing where it's like Trump finally admits it, he's losing. It's probably just bunk.
It totally is bunk. He's gonna win.
It's
landslide.
Two creepy looking dudes sitting in a bathtub together going, did you hear that Trump is losing? I think Trump is gonna lose too. You think he's gonna lose? He's definitely gonna lose. Oh, he's so losing. And that's all it is.
Dude,
What a mental image.
I don't want that. Why? Why,
dare you?
Tim? Come on.
Someone hit the button.
It's who I'm not gonna name. Okay, I was thinking of like who are the
I can think of 2.
No,
Yeah,
come on.
I can think of 2.
Get this image out of my head, please. No.
That's what it is. They're going back and forth.
That's true.
But we'll see, man.
Yep.
So there was a new NBC News put out their new numbers, and it's like Joe Biden landslide. That's what they're saying. No joke. They're saying Biden's guaranteed like 333 electoral votes solid, and there's 79 toss-ups he might win. And they're like, Joe Biden might get 400 electoral votes.
They're delusional.
Here's the thing, man.
It sounds like they're suffering from the same thing Biden is, dementia.
I have professional criticisms of Trump. A lot of the things I complained about in the past, Trump has improved on. I am not a fan of his demeanor as a president, but that's about it. I think he's a funny guy.
Well,
not
because
my choice.
because he wasn't a politician.
But here's the point: I hate Joe Biden. That guy is nasty and
many
awful,
people
and
should.
Did you hear what he said
today?
today?
His racism is showing.
Oh man!
Oh,
for no
terrible
reason.
My goodness.
Did you guys see this today when he was talking on that stupid live streaming and he mentions black people, and then
well, they were talking about Cuba. They were talking about illegal immigration and how, and he just started talking about the I don't remember exactly what words he chose. That just like the Hispanic community.
But here's the point.
And out of left field,
for no reason,
he had no need to say this. He brought it up. He's like, unlike the black people that are out there, the Hispanic people are very diverse.
Why?
And it's like, what?
Wait. And it was like with what did you say? It was like
with some notable exceptions, right?
I'm like, when I saw that,
My
I was
goodness.
like, Joe, why did you just say that?
Why?
Why did you literally just inject a comment about the black community having nothing when this conversation has nothing to do with them?
Right.
If you want to say that the Hispanic community in this country is very diverse, I would say that's true.
Absolutely.
You've got people from Venezuela.
That's all you had to say.
You've got people from Florida. You've got people from Cuba. You've got people from Mexico. You've Guatemala, Honduras. I had a friend growing up whose family was from Honduras. They all spoke Spanish, and they're all very different in many different ways.
Yep.
But for some reason, Joe Biden is like, let me just, inject some comments about the black community for no reason.
It's not a mystery. It's his filter is filtering away because of his dementia. He's said many racist things in his life. Oh, if you dig into Joe Biden, you see racism throughout his entire career, and now it's like the racism knob is being turned up, and his filter's going away because of dementia. Like,
that's why they hide him.
Exactly.
I actually used to see this with my patients when I worked in the nursing home and rehab centers. Your filter goes away when you pass a certain point.
Yeah, that's
dementia makes it, you say whatever is crossing your mind, and none of it makes sense.
Is it dementia, or is it like you're old and you just
Both,
don't care
both.
anymore.
No, dementia.
Two of those things, they go hand in hand.
I was talking with
Yeah.
many medical people today that were commenting on my post about it. They're like, this is a telltale sign of dementia, because it, they could have had a change of heart later on in their life and not be racist anymore. But then as dementia sets in, it reverts back to an older time that it just kind of.
Yeah, it's long.
I mean,
The crazy-
if he ever wasn't racist, because I'm fairly certain that never went away.
The crazy thing about what he said, it was first and foremost, why?
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the
He
conversation.
He's just like, let me just say something bad about this group of people.
Yes.
And it's not even true.
He's like, I'm just going to go for a hail, just a punch, a haymaker right to the face for
But hold
no
on, hold on.
reason.
Have you noticed his filter moments where Biden will be talking? He'll be like, listen here, we got to, I'm not going to say that because that would have been bad.
Yeah.
Have you seen those moments?
Multiple times.
Yeah.
He did it in the same interview.
It's because his filter's busted.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's struggling to
Malfunctioning.
keep it up. So he's like, he's like, I want to make a meme joke, but I'm not going to do it. Biden.
Did you just pull a Biden?
No, this one because it's going to get me in trouble on YouTube.
Okay.
But Biden may as well. I'll say the meme, but I'll stop short of it. Biden may as well be sitting in a chair, and then out of nowhere goes, "I'm going to say it. I'm gonna." If you know the meme,
I don't.
Do you know the
but
meme?
I don't.
You got to
You
tell
don't?
me.
I gotta look it
Show
up
us
now.
afterwards.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say it.
CJ Pearson on Twitter, he posted this video talking about it. He's a prominent Black American, and he was just saying, like, I can't believe all the racism. People aren't getting angry at him. Like, what is going on?
Bro.
And then he makes a point. He goes, if this is what we're seeing in public, what do you think he's saying about us when no one's looking?
It's like Hillary's public and private positions thing she mentioned.
Yeah,
before.
I'm sure.
Back in the 2016 cycle, she said you got to have your public position and your private position.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, because she was against gay marriage. Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude.
Insane.
It's Joe Biden. The people who are going to vote for him, in my opinion, the people who are reading white fragility, they're white supremacists
Absolutely.
with guilty consciences.
100%.
That's what it is.
It's not a joke. It's not an exaggeration.
Technically correct.
Robin D'Angelo's her name,
Yep, Robin D'Angelo.
writes in the book that she is a racist. At what point did the left, whatever, start taking their cues from people who are avowed racists?
This is so funny to me because they love the quote, when someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Yeah, okay, Robin, I believe you.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify, and we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.